Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Expert to Authority show. This is the show for coaches, speakers, and trainers who want to grow their businesses while making an impact in the world. My name is Simone Vincenzi, and I'm your host. And every week we give you different episodes. Sometimes I do a solo show where I give you a bit of the behind the scene of what's happening in GTeX and how we help our clients and also ourselves to grow our business. And then other times we have incredible experts like today. And today we are talking about an unusual paid ad strategy. So pay close attention, in particular, if you want to grow your audience and make paid ads work, but maybe in a way that you might have not heard before. So stay tuned because this is going to be a really special episode. Before I introduce our guest for today, though, I want to remind you about our webinar conversion kit, because you know that webinars are an incredible way to get in front of new audiences, get new clients, and in particular, sell high-ticket offers. But unfortunately, many people struggle with webinars either because they don't have the right presentation to sell, they don't have the right offer, or they don't have the right material to fill out their webinar. So we have decided, after running more than 600 webinars ourselves, working more than 1,000 clients and their webinars, to put everything together in our webinar conversion kit, where you can have the A to Z of creating and high converting webinars. And we'll give you all the tools, the resources, the slide deck, and that's for less than $30. So make sure you check it out. It's webinarconversionkit.com. So it's webinarconversionkit.com, and you can find it also in the show notes. So you just have to scroll down and then click the link, the first link that you can find in the show notes. Now, it is time to introduce our guest today. And she is the founder of a boutique marketing agency that helps small business owners expand their reach and explode their sales with digital ads. And today we are talking about growing your Instagram followers using an easy ad strategy that takes very little time. And as you can see in the conversation, it might go against something that people were saying before. So without further ado, can you please give a massive warm welcome to Meredith Kallaher. Meredith, thank you for being here. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Great, Simone. Thanks. That was a nice warm welcome. I could feel the audience welcoming me to your show. Thank you.
Yeah, you can see the claps and the
I
cheers.
I really can. I can. I credit you for that. You're a good leader.
I'm a good cheerleader. We like to bring the party here on the show. So first of all, we had a quick, before we talk about ads and conversion and growing audiences, you live in Miami, incredible place. What is, I've been to Miami a few times. I want to ask you though, what is your favorite part of Miami and why?
My favorite part of Miami is the winter weather, the December through March.
It's cold, right?
Oh, it's freezing. It's like 74 degrees with no humidity, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. It's so nice. Yeah. I mean, it's just so beautiful to live in and enjoy. And also, I raised 3 kids here. They're all teenagers now, but we moved here 10 years ago. And gosh, I never have to buy them pants, really. Like they just can, it's very easy to, keep the same wardrobe all year long, which really did prove to be very helpful when they were little.
Very, very good move. So let's all move to Miami. I'm actually doing going to be doing a similar choice. In Europe, there is a small island called Malta. I don't know if you ever heard of it or are familiar. Okay. So after 13 years of living in the UK, I think it's about time to make a move and follow the sun for this great reason. Just don't want to spend another winter in the cold.
Right. Oh, you're going to enjoy it. It's been really nice. In fact, but I just spent a week with with a friend, a girls trip, and her husband is Maltese. He's a master chef that now works in the United States, but they go back there. His family is he was born there. And so anyway, it sounds wonderful. I
Yeah,
love their
I need an
stories.
introduction then.
Yes,
I'll
I'll
need an
introduce you. Yeah,
introduction at some
I'll
point.
find. I will
Thank you.
connect you. Yes, he's got family there too, so he'll be a great connection for you. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not here about talk about
No,
Miami. We're not
no,
here
we
to
didn't
talk
talk
about
about that.
Malta. We are here to talk about ads. So
Yes.
before we go into the strategy that you want to present today, what is your background? Because what did you always used to work in the
No,
digital
I
marketing
actually,
space? Okay.
I was a certified public accountant, a CPA. I've always loved numbers. And that's what so I studied, I kind of fell into accounting. I started as a math major and was like, not so sure about all this. And then moved into accounting, and I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers, actually in Zurich for a while, but in London too. I was based there for a little bit. But I did not love that job. So I found my way to marketing, and because I was missing a creative side to the job when I was a CPA. And when I discovered digital ads, it was like ding, ding, ding. And it was not, I mean, I'm not super young. I'm young, but not super young. And so it took me a minute to get there, but it was just like, this is where I'm supposed to be, because really, digital ads and Facebook and Instagram ads, reading the numbers is super important. So I was able to put that skill to use, but also use creativity, and it's
I'm
really fun.
curious, what was the catalyst from your last accounting job to your first marketing job? How did that transition happen?
Bravery. I wish it was some like really cool academic story, but I just got tired of working at as an auditor, even though I got to go international. I was there almost 7 years, but I took a leap and became an entrepreneur. I bought a franchise. It was baby announcements. So random. I was close to having my first baby, but yeah, I created baby announcements for and for people that went to Babies R Us, which was a store here where people went before all the online registries. And anyway, to be an entrepreneur or to be a franchise owner, you've got to start marketing how to market it. So I had to learn how to market basically. And then I thought, oh, I like this. And then the rest is history. Then I just sort of transitioned all the way to being an entrepreneur who only does marketing basically.
And what is your favorite part of marketing? Because when you're talking about marketing, you have every element from the copy to, as you mentioned, the paid ads. You have the organic content creation, you have the metrics, you have the analytics, you have how to implement the analytics, you have the different systems, you have email marketing, you have Facebook marketing. Yeah. So marketing is a big word. What's your favorite part of all of this crazy world?
I have two favorite parts, I guess. The runner up is the writing. I love copywriting, and I just enjoy, I love putting words together and then seeing what worked and didn't work, and restructuring them to work well for, where the person we're talking to is on their customer journey. So I love playing with words, but my favorite part is definitely the strategizing and the analytics and like reading. I love getting a pile of numbers and sorting through it and figuring out what they mean, and then coming up with a plan based on the numbers of what to do next, basically.
So you're basically the best friend of all the entrepreneurs and business owners that hate that part of analytics.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. My weakest part is the graphics. I mean, I love playing with it, but I realized that I do better. Well, Canva is my best friend. I work with Canva, or I work with someone who's more gifted in that realm. Yeah.
And what I love about this is refreshing also to see, okay, you know what, this is what I'm really good at. This is what is my weakest part, which either I can do with Canva or get someone else to do it, while I'm focusing on the part that where I can shine the most. What I would love to know, because data can tell a lot of stories that are not apparent.
Yeah.
What is a project that you worked with recently where you and your clients were pleasantly surprised about what you found out by analyzing data and implemented something that worked out as a result of that? Do you have an example in mind?
Well, something that happened recently, it's sort of backwards, but I think it's interesting that what data told us. But I have a client that's a teacher that is a math teacher and serves other math teachers. And works with a lot of people. Like her email list is 145,000 math teachers. And we just ran she does a virtual summit every year that's free, that 20,000 people attend with 30 other teachers speaking. It's big. Yeah. And, she doesn't charge a whole lot because she's teachers. Like her most expensive product's about $300. But so she spends about $100,000 a year on Facebook ads. And she's my biggest, I work with people that spend a lot less, by the way. This is my client that spends the most money. But it does make it easier when you're spending more money. You do have a lot more numbers to work with and see trends. And so we found a freebie, a lead magnet to grow her email list that was doing so well. And she was getting like $1.50 leads this year back in December, which is very inexpensive, you guys, in the current, right? Yeah. And we kind of doubled down on it, and we really grew her email list for about 7 months. But maybe 2 months ago, they started getting more expensive. And I called her and I said, "Did you change the landing page? What's happening?" And she didn't change the landing page. And so we changed the audience. I thought, well, maybe the cold audience we were sending to isn't working anymore. Changed the cold audience, and this results were the same. It was still, I mean, when I say it's more, it went from like $1.50 to $6 or $7 a person.
Way more.
Yeah.
Way more.
And so finally, what was interesting, I said, well, it didn't change when we changed audiences, still expensive. And I said, it could be that somebody else came in the market. It's a freebie we're giving to these teachers, but maybe someone else started offering a freebie that they liked better. But what she realized was it was the time of year, probably, that what we were offering was really helpful to teachers during the school year. And as the end of the school year approached, she thought maybe they don't need this. It was actually it was a tool they could use in the classroom with little kids, this freebie. And so she said, maybe they don't want that in May and in April and May and in the upcoming summer months. So that was really cool. And we saw that through the numbers. So it was cool to see that. So now we're going to try to find something else we finally turned it on. So I think we've proven now that this is expensive right now. Yeah. And it's actually not a bad price, you guys, for some course creators, but she was getting so cheap. I'm like, let's see if we can find something the teachers would like in the summertime instead of what we were offering. So that was interesting.
It's so true. A lot of time it's definitely down to the ads, but what gets people to click is then the offer,
right?
The offer itself, and how relevant the offer is for the time in which they're in. Can I use it? Is instant consumption? Do I need it now? Can I use it now? And that's right. What will determine that click. Now,
and that's not necessarily about the numbers, but it was the numbers that helped us realize that,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so absolutely. Cool. And otherwise you would have not seen that, or it would have taken longer and then spend more money down the drain, or not coming up with another campaign that you might come up with and something more relevant, and you go back to this kind of great results in terms of leads.
Yeah.
What I now want to know, because we are going to talk about a particular strategy to use ads to grow audience. And that comes down to something that particularly happened in 2021, where Apple update changed the global landscape in terms of ads. So can you give like a very brief introduction, because the majority of people of our audience, they know that. Might be a few people that don't know. So very brief introduction of what happened, what that date meant, and the consequences of that update.
Sure. So Apple, on their iOS 14 update, I think 0.5 or something, gave everybody with an Apple product, Apple phone, the opportunity to opt out of being tracked when they leave the Facebook app, or really any app on your Apple device. And as just listening, you know that you would probably, if someone asks you, do you want to be tracked? You say no. I think they were saying 95% of people opted out, because of tracking. And you might not. So a lot of people say, well, I don't remember that happening. If you already had Facebook and Instagram, which a lot of us do, you should have gotten like a little update question. Do you want to opt out of tracking? Yes or no? But now if you were new and downloading Facebook on your phone, it's pretty obvious. You see the question there. So what that did was it wreaked havoc on Facebook. Facebook spent $1 billion fighting Apple on that update, and they lost. And truthfully, it felt like they weren't ready to lose because it was like chaos. I mean, and they kept, and they did a pretty good job, but they kept changing their mind on how they were going to respond to it. So that's one thing that it made it harder to even run a campaign, because the way you run the campaign kept changing in Ads Manager. But also what helped really, what was one of the big benefits of Facebook and Instagram ads was we could serve an ad to anybody that visited your website or that was on your email list. And that basically, the short story, sorry, is that you can't do that anymore after iOS 14. There's some workarounds, but they don't work really well. So that was the bottom line, is that you just we couldn't serve your audience with ads unless they were identified as your audience on app, which is what we're going to talk about today. Meaning they told Facebook on Facebook or Instagram, hey, I like this company.
Right.
Right.
So basically, unless the people were already following you or were already not engaging with you or your page, in particular talking about business pages or Instagram profile, then Facebook or Instagram would not have a way to track where those conversion, where the leads were coming from. And that was so useful because, before you had a tracking pixel, put it on the website page or a landing page, and you knew that that person was going to be tracked with another series of ads that would offer them something, give them additional value depending on the nature of the campaign, and then became less possible.
And
I
it
think
did two more things I want to point out. Think
Sure.
your audience will understand is that what it also did was lookalike audiences were very powerful. And what we could do is we could take people that went to your website and say, hey, Facebook, we want to find 2 million more people that look just like these people. But now we can't use they don't work very well now because of that. And then also the third thing it did was, once you do run a campaign, and like my teacher, when she does get someone to take her freebie, the results reporting is messed up. If they've opted out of tracking, like the person that takes the freebie says, I don't want to be tracked, Facebook can't tell us if the ad worked or not, which that is probably the hardest thing that's made it. That was a result of that.
Then I cannot attribute the sale, or I cannot attribute the opt-in to that particular ad, which now there is what ads works really well is that the analytics that I can get and how granular I can know, okay, this many people viewed it, this many people opted in, this many people bought, then within 15 days or 25 days or 30 days and so on. So what is now, what is the solution? Because I know that there's been a lot of speculations over the past year about what people should do or should not do, about workarounds and other maybe software that have been put into the market to help out with that. But I know that you have found a unique solution for you for a very particular reason. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. So if you, especially if you're new starting out but you'd like to try ads, or you have a budget that you've been spending on to grow your email list, I think that this could be a great strategy for you, is to use ads to grow your Instagram following or your Facebook page following for a couple of reasons. One is because since our email list and our website visitors can't we can't use them as lookalikes anymore. We can't feed them ads necessarily. That the organic audience is great, because even though Mark Zuckerberg owns them, even if they opt out of tracking or what, it doesn't matter, because we're talking about on platform. So we can still talk to them on platform. So they've really become more valuable. And you'll see a lot of people, it's nice because those of us that do enjoy organic social media, or maybe you don't enjoy it, but you do it anyway because you've decided that's part of your marketing strategy, just know that it is more meaningful now. It is great. Like that organic audience is good for you. And people might have told you before.
There was a moment where organic audience were just being slapped in the face, to be honest. They're like, you spend so much time and energy and work building organic audiences, creating content for them, for a very small percentage of people seeing them or engaging with it.
And so they're more important. We can use them to create lookalike. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but all that stuff that happened with iOS 14 makes ads just more expensive. Plus, that Facebook announced in third quarter 2021, they had a great quarter, and they had to, they have to explain like the reasons why they think they had a great quarter. And one of the reasons why they said they raised ad prices 55% in 2021. So not only do they have a big mess, they're also just downright charging more. And so because it's expensive, this strategy that we're going to go over to increase your Instagram following is a lot less expensive than, like you heard me talking about my teacher. I mean, for, if she's getting $8 leads and we're spending 75 a day, which is a lot of money, that's less than 10 leads a day, right? Which is expensive when you're spending that much. But we can do this, what we're going to go over now. We can grow your Instagram for $10 a day. So, I mean, you can spend more if you want, but I would spend, a minimum of $300 a month, which
is very affordable for ads campaign. So let's walk through that. How does it work?
Okay. Yeah. And Simone, I thought I'd give it like step by step so someone could do it themselves, because if you've looked at Ads Manager before, you guys, it is a little bit complicated, but I think that I could, if this strategy is easy enough that I could tell you how to do it yourself. Sound good?
Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm all ears.
Okay. So you're going to go to Ads Manager, business.facebook.com/ads manager, and you're going to set up a campaign. All right. And there's three levels of Ads Manager. You have a campaign, and then within that an ad set, and then the ads. All right. So we're going to start at the campaign level. And now they have tried to make it easier. There's 7 objectives. There used to be 16 if you looked, but like in the last few months, they took it down to 7. But traffic is still one of them that you can pick. So we're going to pick a traffic campaign. And just so I give you some theory, the theory is we're going to send traffic to a website, but in this case, we're going to send it to your Instagram profile. So when we get down to the ad level where you put the URL, it's going to go to like Instagram.com/ in my case, it would be Meredith Kallaher, because that's what my handle is. So whatever your handle is. So yeah, so that's the simple strategy. We're sending traffic to your profile. So you set the campaign level at traffic, and then that's do not set campaign budget. It's just a question there. It'll be off. We're going to set it at the ad set level. So then you hit save once you hit traffic campaign, and it takes you to the ad set level. The ad set level is where you set your budget and who your audience is. So at this level, and somewhere on here, it's going to ask you, they kind of change this. Everybody's looks a little different just to make it fun. For some reason, Facebook likes to.
They always change it. Like as soon as you get the grip of something, it's like, oh, now we have changed completely. Thank you. Just spent the last 6 months learning about it.
I guess they're testing what works better or not. But like, right, if I showed you mine, yours would look a little different. But somewhere in here, you want to optimize your traffic campaign for link clicks. There's only 2 options: link clicks or landing page views.
Okay.
The reason we're doing link clicks is because it's cheaper. I can't tell you what dollar, but I wouldn't change to landing page views until you're like at $50 a day or something, which I wouldn't recommend anybody try this at that level. If it works, if it starts working really well, sure. But I think you're going to get some cool Instagram followers at $10 a day. Anyway, so anyway, we're optimizing for link clicks. We're going to set it at $10 a day at the ad set level budget on this page. And for your audience, I want you to find an audience that's about 500,000 to 4 million. So if you serve your clients locally in a geographic area, you're probably just going to pick you're going to pick the area you serve, and you're going to pick, maybe the age, and if they're male or female or both, and then look at the size. If you're already if you like, if you're somewhere between 500 and 4 million, I would just leave it at that without adding any cold interest targeting.
Okay.
But if you're and I have had this question before, if you're smaller than 500,000, I would consider adding some geographic, like if your city or town's small, maybe just start adding the city around until you
Like
get up
the
to
bigger town or the biggest city,
yeah, exactly.
the
Yeah.
closest one.
Yeah. And think about your Instagram followers. I mean, yes, the goal is to get your people in your community that will, buy from you. But also, what makes social media fun is when people engage with you, and they like your product, your service. So like we can get a little broader. We're just and then use the interest targeting, because that will make your community awesome. So the buyers that do end up buying from you like your page and enjoy the content that they're seeing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So then on the interest targeting, now it's changed. Facebook's gotten rid of not tons, but some of your favorite categories that you might have picked before might not be there. There was something came out and they were trying to get rid of maybe people targeting for political or religious reasons, but it feels like they got rid of more than that. So just go pick what you think your ideal customer would be interested in, not necessarily what you sell. So like you might sell to, let's say I don't know what you might sell a leadership course, but your primary target audience is moms, maybe moms going back to work. You could pick the interest of, I don't know, like kids soccer or something, think about what your client might like, not necessarily what you sell, because we're trying to find them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So what you're saying is that instead of going like you can go directly and of course name that audience, but also going directly, think about okay, what are the other things that this particular audience is interested in, and then find them through that way. So maybe like I work with a lot of experts. I know that a lot of experts are interested in public speaking. So I could find them through the public speaking route,
right?
Or they are interested in digital marketing. I can find them through the digital marketing route. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah. And for this kit strategy, you can be a little looser, meaning, if we were selling your course, if this was webinar registration ads or then we might be more specific. Like we might, just because we're going to spend more money on those, and I like it's just something you can play with a little, like to be creative here. Now, in the end, the numbers are going to tell us what works or not, but also the numbers in your Instagram and Facebook analytics. Like it's really important to have people talking in your comments and stuff. So you want to get and that could start, if you've used the strategy for a while, it could start with the targeting. So it's fun to play with. I think it's fun. Give it enjoy it.
After you pick your audience, then what's the next step?
Then you're done. So you're done on the ad set level. Then it's time to add the ads. Well, sorry, I take that back. On the ad set level, you get to pick. And for every other ad campaign, I would tell you to try all placements. So on this level, meaning, the Facebook and Instagram ads can go to both Facebook and Instagram, but they're also marketplace, all kinds of stuff. We're not going to show it. If you're wanting to increase your Instagram followers, we're only going to show it on Instagram. And so get rid of everything else at the ad set level.
So you're not even going to show it on Facebook. We are only specific running Instagram ads on Instagram. It's platform relevant. I'm already on Instagram. I can follow you on Instagram.
Yes.
I don't need to go from somewhere else then back to Instagram. So it's very relevant.
Exactly. And by the way, if you decide to switch this to do it your Facebook business page, then everything you would only do Facebook, and you would, you'd send them. But we're talking about the reason I like this for Instagram, because now I'm going to tell you about the ad. So on the ad, what I've done this campaign several times, and what works is I have the business owner create a selfie video. And if you really don't want to, you could have one of your clients do it, or I've done it with a dentist and locally here in Miami, and she did it. But then when we wanted to refresh, we had one of her hygienists do this, and it feels real organic. Because remember, we're trying to grow your organic Instagram account. And I would say so you're going to say something like this. Hey, my name is Meredith Kallaher. I've got, sorry, and you can start over if you want to, but you'd say, my name is Meredith Kallaher. I am a Facebook and Instagram strategy based here in Miami. You should come follow me on my Instagram profile. I love to talk about all things marketing and marketing numbers. And sometimes I talk about what it's like to live with 3 teenagers and how fabulous Miami is. So swipe up and follow me. So, and you won't say swipe up. That's a new thing because there's now everyone can have the link click. So sorry, that's it. You'd say, click the link and follow me. So what you want to do in 30 seconds or less is tell them who you are, what you do, and really why they should follow your social, not necessarily why they should work with you, right? So tell them the things you talk about and why, and then you tell them exactly what to do. So click the link button to follow me. And then when they get to your profile, I would update your Instagram profile to say, in the description, you can even use an arrow emoji. Hit follow below to follow along. And you guys, people like that dentist in Miami, which dentists and doctors, it's hard to run a social media for a dentist. And we got followers at just under $1 each for her, which really is, I mean, that's not really what social media is about, looking at people's teeth, but people followed her because she told them, what she talked about and why she was relevant to them. And the thing is, unlike bots or even I'm not always opposed to the bots that look for hashtags and like things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get okay followers that way. I'm not for like fake followers or anything like that, but sometimes that's okay, that strategy, but these are amazing followers. Like I think they're worth every second.
They want to hear, like, it's not something that they've seen you following because you like the hashtag. And I think that actually I've used the strategy of hashtags, and the quality of the followers that strategy gave me, they weren't that good actually. And I ended up unfollowing a lot of accounts, and that was before, because my Instagram account got I got hacked last October on Facebook and Instagram, losing more than 14,000 people. And I couldn't get it back. So that was a bad story so that's why I'm like, I've restarted Italy from scratch in October. Thanks God I've got a good mailing list. But when I used that hashtag strategy, that it didn't got me much. But what I'm hearing you saying, if I'm watching the video and I'm seeing that you're someone local and you're someone relevant, and you're going to talk about things that actually pique my interest, and also you talked about something personal, like I also sometimes I show you how it's my life with raising 3 kids, and I show you with Miami. It's like, okay, this person has personality. I can check you out.
I love organic social too. I think everybody should have a little bit of personal in their business social media on Instagram and Facebook, because it is social media. And like, you would never walk into a cocktail party, like a business cocktail party, and go at the door, like, hey, I'm an Instagram and Facebook ad strategist. Come talk to me. You'd walk around the room, and even a networking event, you'd meet someone, or where are you from? And so I always encourage people, even if you don't have to talk about your kids, like people tell me, but I don't want to put this on social media or that. Find something you're comfortable, like water skiing, or something that it doesn't have to be something that, people might come rob you or take your children away.
and what now? So you told us what's in the video. I'm assuming the video is square. So it's a square video.
Yes. Yeah. So in that way, if you do now that we can say link click, you could use that same square video in the feed as well as the story. Before, we would, like 6 months ago, we would say swipe up. And so I just put it in the story. And I would still probably do it as square. They look pretty nice when you put a square video into the story ads. The way Facebook's doing it right now looks nice. And then in the copy, just keep it simple. You can pretty much say what we said we were going to say in the video, like, you should come follow me, and add the captions. Facebook will do it automatically. I mean, they'll do it for you. Add the captions if you push a button when you're uploading. Now, if it was a longer video, or I would not recommend Facebook's free tool because there's so many mistakes and you need to go fix all the mistakes. But these short videos, it's not too time consuming to fix the mistakes.
And I would love to add, it also depends on your accent.
Oh,
If you're a native English speaker or
okay.
not, because as an Italian, I sometimes like I really struggle to get the normal Facebook or Instagram tool to give me the right captions. So if you know, if you're not a native English speaker, then just get the captions done with another tool like Rev or whatever you use, because you know they're going to be accurate.
Well, and one thing I just learned, I was wasting a step. I love rev.com. So that's what I'll get. Yeah. So rev.com will give you the SRT file. Well, I was then using a file on a different app and putting them on the video myself before. But on Facebook, you can upload the video and the SRT file from Rev or somewhere else, and they'll put them on there for you. So I was wasting my time for couple years.
Okay. So you were going embedding it on another app and then going on Facebook. But then, you can do you can upload the SRT file on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
And then depends also, of course, how you want that to be shown in the video. So if you want the captions to be shown like Facebook shows them, or if you want the caption to be shown like with the different fonts or different colors, or that's something that you can do with the video editing app and so on.
But it's worth the time in this. You're going to spend the money on the ads. Make sure you do the captions. I think you should do them on organic too, because so many people watch with the sound off, but definitely on the ads. Take the extra second to add the captions because you're spending money. You don't want to lose anybody.
Is there, before we wrap up this segment, this part, is there any part that we have missed in terms of this process?
No, and I guess, no, that's really, and then you watch it. And I mean, it's up to you what you think's working or not, I guess. So we said $10 a day. You could try less. Just sometimes you got to give Facebook a little money. You could try less dollars per day, but if you don't like the price you're getting, you could try a different audience. You could try a different video. Oh, and then I like to try to think of things I hadn't touched. That one of the metrics Facebook will give you is a number called frequency, how many times a person has seen the ad. I go with 4. So when it's telling me that people have seen this ad 4 times, I'll refresh the creative, meaning create a new ad. And what you can do is you can just create a whole new ad set within your same campaign. And once it gets approved and going, then turn off the original and that one will be going. So you never lose.
So basically I can set up for example, 2 ads and both with the same frequency of 4. Yeah. So that it means that the moment the person sees it 4 times, then sees 4 times one, 4 times the other.
Yeah. And if you want, it's not the end of the world if you let it go longer, but I mean, that might be at $10 a day, that might be 6 or 7 weeks. It depends on your audience before it gets to 4. Yeah. But I think you have, and yes, you can, it doesn't have to be a video. You could try it with words. I've always seen it. I like it. And I like it, the video with your iPhone, because it does feel so organic, and that just seems to kind of help since we're trying to build your organic following. Yeah. And then just do
you give something away? So to interrupt you there, just as a thought, do you give something away in the video to say,
totally could.
I'm curious if you have some data on this, if it just asking, okay, follow me and I'm going to be talking about X, Y, and Z, or follow me and I will send you X.
I like that. I mean, I always, we have proven, I've never tried that, so I don't have data on that particular giveaway with the Instagram followers, but for sure I have seen that ads when we give away free, so because we're technically asking something from them, a follow, without giving them anything right up front. So when you give them something like that, be good. I like to try that. Yeah, I'll send you this when you follow me.
You know what? I'm gonna give it a go actually with this strategy. I'm gonna set it up this week. And
well, please let me know how it goes.
Hey, follow Dela for the webinar conversion kit. We have an entry point, which is get the the checklist on what to prepare for a webinar.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you send me this is what I'm talking about, and then if you when you follow me, then I'm gonna send you privately this link, which actually could start a DM conversation
Which is great.
at
Yes.
that
I love the
point.
DM conversations. It's good
And
for
we send
your,
them by DMs.
yeah. I think it's great because that's really good. That helps you in the logarithm, meaning the more DMs that you
Yeah.
have, right? Yeah, and I guess one other number I've seen, but this you're probably in a good place, and not that I'm sorry that you're hacked, but your account got hacked. And I don't know what the magic number is. I think 14,000 could still be a good number to try this strategy. I have two clients that have, 45, 50,000 Instagram followers. It wasn't that meaningful to make a dent in their an impact on their numbers to really see a big change. We were going to have to spend quite a bit, you know what I mean? Like, so if that dentist, if we got $1 a follow and we were spending $300 a month, that's 300 followers, which is awesome. But if you have, you'd see why. If you have 45,000 followers, you might want to put your money somewhere else. Just a point.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I've got at the moment, I think I'm back to like I'm a bit more than 200 followers right now. So
that's awesome.
Still in the rebuilding. I'm in the rebuilding phase from what happened. So I'm gonna give it a go.
I think it could work well for you for sure.
See how that works with the giveaway, because we do a lot of social selling through the DMs. Like for me, DMs is where everything happens.
Yeah.
And generating a DM conversation with someone who's interested in that can generate immediately an extra sale. So
I'm sure.
That's thank you. I'm gonna give it a go, and then we can do like part 2 of the show as a review of how this experiment went.
Please, let's do. I'd really love to hear. I
That would be
told
cool.
you that's my favorite part of my job is reading the numbers and let's do it.
We could. Okay, so I'm gonna do it. This is the deal. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
And then you let me know if you want to see. We'll do it for a month, and then you let me know if you want to see my data.
I would
only live during the call, and just we do just like a live reveal.
Let's do it. I think that'd be fun.
Or you want me to send them the day before, whatever. And then we do, and so then you can also showcase while you're here on the show, and you can also show what's your thinking process when you analyze data.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'd love to do it live because yeah, let's do it. That would be really fun.
Oh, I'm excited.
I can't wait.
I'm excited. And this is a challenge. I cannot say that Meredith is gonna do a review for everyone. But what I would love to challenge you, if you're listening right now, and also let Meredith know, connect with her on Instagram. The link is in the show notes.
Yeah.
And let her know if you're up for the challenge. If you're going to follow this challenge as well, because I'm gonna give it a go. No, why don't you give it a go as well? If you don't want to start with $300, start with half of it. $5 a day.
Yeah, try it.
Try with that. See how that works.
I'm happy to answer your question. Really, I think I really am a big nerd where I love talking about Facebook and Instagram ads and numbers. So if you have a question, just DM me on Instagram for sure. I'll be watching out for you.
That's awesome. So Meredith, talking about how people can get in touch with you, I don't know if you have prepared something that our audience can get from you or give away.
I didn't today. I thought about I'm in the process of changing that up of what I might give away, but I have a website, meredithkallaher.com, and I do write a weekly blog post that's called Building Her Business. It started with when I kind of regrouped and left a partnership and went by myself almost 2 years ago. And so that's what I was writing about, what I did. I did it quickly to build my business. And now right now we're talking about YouTube. But anyway, you can check out my blog. If you're interested, you could subscribe to my weekly email. But you can always also book a free call with me there on the website, Meredith Kallaher.
So it's meredithkallaher.com.
Yes. Yeah.
So meredithkallaher.com to spell it meredithkallaher.com, and all the link anyway is in the show notes or the description or the comments, depending when you're watching or listening this particular episode. Follow Meredith on Instagram, see what she's up to, let her know, and let me know as well if you're taking part of this challenge, because we are going to arrange a part 2 where we're going to see what the results are of this one, as I need to get my Instagram followers back up. So why not do it together? You know, the spirit of GTeX, together we grow exponentially. That's how we are. So let's give it a go.
I like it.
Meredith, before we wrap up, any final thought from our conversation? Any final words of wisdom from you?
Well, I'd say if we were still thinking about Instagram and maybe the strategy, have fun on Instagram social, or you're on your organic channel, and you can make this ad fun. Think that's really what is attractive to people. I mean, yes, I go to social media to learn. I learn everything from podcasts and social, but I'm definitely attracted to people that make learning fun, so just be yourself, and the people will come. And then the ads will give you a little bit of juice to get them coming
A bit
faster.
of juice. It gives a bit
Yes,
of juice on of how brilliant you are, or how brilliant
exactly.
you are. Well, Meredith,
Exactly.
it's been an incredible episode, a great interview. Thank you for being on the show. Really
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Simone. I'm so pleased to be here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching or listening. Until next time, always remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.